You are listening to Penne Pyro, Book 2 of the Jade Sommer Series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Copyright 2021. Audio copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Chapter 8. I arrived at the park at 11 with Mila walking silently next to me. Mila wasn't a silent type of person, so her quietness unnerved me a bit. Still, I didn't want to pry, so I pretended all was well. That was until I saw a large man standing on a mat. That wasn't what made me stop in my tracks. It was the fact that he was naked except for a thick cloth that looked more like a thong. It didn't leave much to the imagination. Mila stalled as well. Whatever funk she had been in disappeared as she said,
"Oh my gosh, it's a sumo wrestler."
"This better not be the work of Kobe," I said. Mila laughed.
"I see him in the crowd standing around the mat. Look, he's waving at you."
"About that money I promised you, I think it might have to wait until I get a second job."
"Hear him out first. There might be something else going on. I can't see how you would beat the sumo wrestler."
There was no way I could, not without resorting to biting or hair-pulling. I certainly couldn't push him off the mat. And one swat of his meaty arm would have me flying into the river. As I neared the small crowd that looked to be mainly Kobe's friends, I noticed Sparrow was in the mix as well. Not that one would not notice Sparrow. From his truck driver build and goatee to his pink spiked hair, platform shoes, and pink boa, he had a tendency to stand out. I wondered what he was doing at the park in the morning. As the local drug dealer and park icon, he was rarely seen until the late afternoon and evening. Maybe Sparrow was going to spar with the sumo wrestler. That might be an epic battle. As I neared, I asked Kobe, "What's going on?"
"This is your challenge."
"The sumo wrestler?" I questioned, as I was sure my brain short-circuited. Kobe grinned.
"You can totally take him. Sparrow even bet on you. He said after he saw you tackle the other guy, you can take him."
"People are betting?"
"It wasn't my plan, but people started verbally betting, and then Sparrow got in on the action, and now there's money involved."
I latched onto Kobe's arm like a cobra and pulled him away from the group. "You can't bring betting into this."
"I'm not the one betting. It's Sparrow, and I'm not saying no to him. I know he's all into a quasi-ethical drug trade, but he's still scary."
I took a deep breath before smacking Kobe's arm. "What the hell is wrong with you?" He rubbed his arm.
"Save your aggression for the mat."
"I'm not going on the mat." "Call this off. I was barely okay with the food competition. I'm not going to wrestle with someone who's practically naked and who can flatten me like a pancake."
"Please."
"No."
"But everyone is already here, and I've already paid the wrestler."
"Not my problem. No money is worth this."
"You get a cut of the bets."
I stalled. It wasn't that I was still thinking about wrestling, but I was intrigued by the cut. "How much?" Kobe waved Sparrow over.
"How much if Jade loses?"
She better not. I bet on her.
"I'm just giving her options. She doesn't want to compete."
500 if she loses, 10,000 if she wins.
We both gasped at Sparrow. "How is that possible?" I asked. "There are only a dozen or so people gathered here."
I opened up online betting. We've got bets coming in from all over the world, and a lot of pissed off people if you don't go through with it.
I glared at Kobe, who didn't make eye contact. "What if I forfeit?"
I highly suggest that you don't. Trust me when I say you don't want to piss off these people. It's in your best interest to go ahead with the match.
"The guy is going to squash me like a bug."
Better than what might happen if you throw the match. Just go in there and do your best. Give it a fair shot, and you walk away with money either way. It's better than the alternative.
I didn't want to know the alternative. "Kobe, you owe me, and I'm done after this. Do you understand?" He nodded, still not able to make eye contact with me. I couldn't believe I was about to step into a ring with a man who had to weigh well over 400 pounds. Even after my highest year of dumpling consumption did I even get close to a third of that number. At the mat, I slipped off my shoes. "What are the rules?" I asked, having no idea what sumo wrestlers did other than try to push each other off the mat.
The goal is to knock the other person out of the boundaries of the mat.
Aston said, as he arrived at the edge of the mat with his clipboard.
There are no other rules for this challenge, except maybe we should add no body slamming.
He looked at Sparrow, who nodded his agreement.
Very good. No body slamming. Otherwise, there are no rules.
This could go very bad very quickly. I glanced at Mila, whose gaze pinged from me to the wrestler and back at me.
Wait!
Someone called. I looked behind me to find Nana and Landon hurrying down the path. "What are you doing here?" I asked Nana.
I heard what was going on.
"How?" I didn't even know what was happening until a minute ago,
You're being live streamed.
Land said. I glanced at Kobe, who nervously shrugged. Nana dug in her oversized purse and pulled out a large bottle of baby oil. She handed it to me.
Slather yourself with this. He won't be able to get a good grip on you.
This was going from bad to worse. Land gave a nod.
It will help. I've seen it. Just make sure to wipe off your hands, otherwise you won't be able to get a grip on him either.
I'm just planning on running out of his reach and shoving him out if I get the chance. There will be no touching otherwise,
It's a small mat.
Nana said, pushing the bottle toward me. "Shouldn't you be trying to stop this?" I asked her. "You don't want your favorite granddaughter to die, do you?"
Die? I'm betting on you. Go in there and win it.
She should strip down to her bra and underwear.
Land said. He held up his hands in defense as I swiped at him.
I only meant because he can grab onto your clothes.
It would make you more slippery if you weren't wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
Nana said.
I should have thought to bring my bathing suit for you.
Why couldn't I have a normal family? One that would call the police if I was in danger. Logan would totally put a stop to this. Logan. I quickly pulled out my phone and texted, "I'm at the park. Please save me. Hurry." Briefly wondering if I did the right thing by texting him, I then handed the phone to Nana. Dousing myself liberally with the oil, including my jeans and t-shirt, I glanced at the wrestler who paced on the mat like a lumbering walrus. After greasing myself like some back-road bar fighting mama, I hesitantly stepped near the mat and looked at the wrestler whose arms were the size of my torso. Sadly, he had bigger boobs than me too. I glanced at Sparrow, who gave a sharp nod. I then looked over to Kobe, who still couldn't make eye contact with me but instead looked to the camera that was currently live streaming. Well, I couldn't stall much longer. I faced my opponent and stepped solidly on the mat. If I was going to go down, I would fight all the way down. Just think about the money. Nothing else. Even if I lose, I have 500 from the betting and 100 from Kobe. But if I won, I could pay back Mila, buy some clothes, and help the restaurant. First things first, I thought as the wrestler hunched down. The people behind him got a full view of his thong-clad bottom. I got the full view of his eyes that went from bored to ferocious in one slow movement. He lifted one leg and slammed it down on the mat. Then the other leg. I faintly remembered that meant he was ready. He moved to his right. I copied his action, keeping us as far apart as possible. But then he charged with hands shoved forward. I sprinted to the side, hoping he would run off the mat. But he stopped and centered himself. There was a part of me that felt like I was toying with a bull as we circled. Him charging, me dodging. It wasn't until we circled the mat for the 20th time that I thought I saw an opening. He plowed forward with a little too much energy. His toes nearly grazed the edge, and I had a clear path to his back. I ran and tossed myself into him, hoping to off-balance him and knock him out. But it was like running into a tree. I bounced off of him and landed in a heap on the mat. He turned around and swiped, trying to grab one of my flailing limbs. The thing about the baby oil was that it might work as a defensive tool, but it was also working against me as I scrambled away. My feet slipped, my hands slid. Finally, I rolled out from his grasp. He was quick to follow. I could end this now. I could let him grab my arm and toss me off the mat. But there was the issue of my competitiveness problem. With my adrenaline spiked, rational thoughts didn't permeate my mind. Sure, they were there in the back, mixed in with a grocery list. But it was the thought of winning 10,000 that made me roll out of his grasp again. And with all of my rolling, the excess oil transferred from my clothes to the mat. It was now one giant slip and slide. And the giant was slipping and sliding his way over to me. I grinned as he lost his footing and crashed down to his knees. I couldn't knock him off the mat before, but maybe with all this oil I could push him off. Charging at him, I slammed into his back, but all that did was bend him over. He didn't budge otherwise. I had to get lower to his center of gravity if I wanted to move him, which meant I glanced down at the thong straining between his butt cheeks. This could end very badly. I only had a fraction of a second to think about my life choices as he was straightening. Palms forward like I had seen him do it, I pressed both hands on his surprisingly firm yet jiggly cheeks and pushed with all my strength. It produced the desired effect of toppling him toward the grassy area, but I didn't expect him to be so quick nor limber. He hopped out of my grasp and pivoted behind me. Grabbing me by my back belt loop, he hoisted me as if to fling me. I should have let him. It would have been a better move, and the match would have been over. But instead, I curled my legs around his arm, which twisted me upside down, my face now by his crotch. I never said I was smart while on an adrenaline high, and I wasn't proud of my next move. But hanging upside down while a gorilla-like man tried to fling me off of him had me grasping at things. The only thing I could grip was his loincloth. I didn't mean to grab his nether regions, but it wasn't like he had much else to grab onto. He squealed in pain and dropped me, covering his privates with his hands. I used the distraction and scrambled to my feet and plowed my shoulder into his backside. His arms wheeled in the air as he tried to balance himself, but he was too far forward. I gave another push and he toppled down, twisting just before he hit the ground. I still didn't get him off the mat.
Chicago PD.
A familiar voice shouted.